Construction at water's edge often involves heavy machinery on the shore, and frequently the use of high explosives offshore. To a couple of kids in the Bahamas, where pirates once roamed and stories of sunken treasure are as real as today's headlines, warning signs don't have much meaning, even when they read, "High explosives in use. Public, keep out." I was underwater not far from where the two boys had just been diving. I was on official business, working for the construction company. It was my job to go in after the explosions and determine the results. I was using a suction tube, a sort of underwater vacuum cleaner, to suck up the silt so that I could examine the rock bottom underneath. On this dive, I found nothing alarming. The alarm was to come later, and from the two boys whose existence I didn't even know about.
Never see it again, huh? Promise you won't tell anybody? Scout's honor. How do you know it's real gold? I just know. Look, I'll bet it's a part of Sir Henry Morgan's treasure. Who's he? A pirate chief, and he lived right here. He had a whole gang of pirates, and after they buried his treasure, he killed them so they couldn't tell anybody. Gee, maybe there's a curse on it. I heard that pirates used to put a curse on their treasure. You don't believe that kid stuff, do you? Probably plenty more down there, too. We've got to get something to get it. I have a shovel. I've got something better than that. Something better than a shovel. Dynamite, where'd you get that? Found it near where they're building the marina. It's got an automatic timer on it, too. What if your father finds out about it? He's not gonna. You promised not to tell, and you better keep that promise. I promised. How do you know it works? It works. I'll prove it. It's in for 60 minutes. There, I told you it would work. Let's get back down there. Joey, come on, you afraid of something?
Back at Nassau Beach Lodge, I had a date. Claire Roberts was the daughter of a famous marine biologist with whom I had worked. I was looking forward to a relaxed afternoon with her. Hi, Claire. Ready to go?
I've been ready for 5 minutes.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry. Forgive me?
I have to forgive you. If I didn't, my father'd never forgive me. You're one of his 2 favorite people.
Oh, yeah? Well, who's the other one?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
You. He has very good taste.
Mike!
What's the matter, Pete?
Excuse me, miss. Mike, Joey Turner, a 12-year-old kid. His father's one of our men, is trapped in a grotto underwater.
Oh, mackerel, where?
I don't know exactly. Joey and another kid, Kelly Bailey, were skin diving in the grotto. One of our explosions must have caused a slide. He says the entrance to the grotto is blocked and Joey's still in there.
Where's the other kid, Kelly?
He's with Joey's mother, Mrs. Turner. I told him to wait for us at the dock.
Sorry, Claire. Give me a rain check, huh?
Hey, wait, Mike. I'm going with you.
Claire went with me in my car. Pete followed in his. We broke a record getting to the dock where the mother of the missing boy was waiting for us, along with Kelly Bailey, the other youngster in the case.
Mr.
you Kelly?
Nelson. Mr. Nelson, my boy Joey.
I know. I'll do what I can.
Please, please find him, Mr. Nelson. I told him not to go skin diving without his father.
Okay, Kelly. Where do we go? Where is he, boy?
I'm not sure. think it's that way.
You think, don't you know?
Joey led the way. I just followed. It was his idea to...
To what, to go skin diving?
Yeah, to go skin diving.
Kelly, if we're gonna find your friend in time, we've got to move fast, and you've got to help us. You've got to direct us to him.
Yeah, but I've never been here before, and it all looks the same.
Maybe after we get out there, you'll recognize a landmark of some kind, huh? You think?
Yeah, maybe.
I quickly briefed Pete on the only feasible plan of operation. My principal concern was that Joey would run out of air. My boat has an underwater television camera. With it, we searched the bottom for any signs of a grotto or rock slide. When we saw something, I would dive and investigate. I went down toward what had appeared from the surface to be a series of crevices. These might very well be what the confused youngster on deck had been talking about. None of the crevices had yielded a clue, and the time was getting shorter and shorter. As I surfaced, I saw one of the construction company boats racing toward us. Pete had sent a crew out to remove all the explosives in the harbor. Maybe, just maybe, they'd have some news for us.
No sign of the boy, but we recovered all the explosives in A zone. Didn't have much time to spare. These timers were working perfectly. There ain't a dud in the bunch. Another few minutes and the area would have been leveled. We're on our way to B zone. We'll keep our eyes open. Okay. Take it off.
Well, might as well keep looking.
Yeah, at least we'd be grateful for one thing. They got all that dynamite out of A zone.
No, they didn't.
They didn't what? Kelly, if you've got something to say now, say it.
They didn't get all the dynamite out. There's still some there.
Where?
Where we were diving, there was a buoy with a sign that said A zone on it.
Why didn't you say this before?
I was afraid, I promised.
Promised who?
Joey!
Pete, head for that A zone buoy. Now, what makes you think there are more explosives down there? You heard that man. They're numbered. He'd know if there are any more down there.
There was an extra one. Joey found it someplace.
Was there a timer on it, you know, with a kind of a switch?
Yes, just like the ones in the boat.
You didn't set it, did you?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
But Joey did.
Well, he certainly turned it off by now.
No, he didn't.
What do you mean he didn't?
You can't reach it. His leg's caught.
At least now we knew that Joey was trapped somewhere underwater in A zone. I was fully suited up and ready to dive the moment that we hit the center of the area. I made for the bottom as fast as I could. But when I reached it and looked around, I realized the enormity of the job. Time was running out. Was I going to be lucky enough to find the single hole in the rocks where a frightened little boy was pinned down, just out of reach of enough dynamite to blow the whole ocean bottom apart?
They'll find him. I know they will.
I'm sure they will, Mrs. Turner.
He was such a beautiful little baby. I remember when people used to turn and look at him on the street. I remember when he learned to swim. Oh, nothing can happen to him. Nothing can happen to my baby Joe.
That angelfish was really my angel. I saw him swim into the hole in the rocks, and then I saw the bubbles. I just had room enough to get my head in the hole, but it was enough to show me Joey inside. It was pretty clear now why he couldn't move. I managed to get a few of the lighter rocks out of the way. When I looked in this time, I could see the dynamite and timer. I couldn't begin to reach it from outside, but I could and did tap out a signal to reassure the frightened boy, to let him know that help was on the way. Then I raced for the surface.
Hey, look, there he is.
The boy's there. He's alive, but I can't get to him. There's a boat hook. Give it to me. I'm going to try and get that dynamite out of the grotto. But I won't be able to get to the boy unless I have some equipment to move those rocks. Get on that phone, huh?
Right.
I felt that I could get to the dynamite with the boat hook. It was impossible to see what I was doing. I had to play it by touch. There was something in there. Joey kept shaking his head no. But I thought that he was afraid that I'd set off the dynamite. I kept pulling at it and finally got it out. It was a sponge. It was obvious Joey was having trouble with his air. I had no more time to waste. The boat hook was too short, but I had something else aboard the boat that could work. My underwater vacuum tube. I headed for it. There were only 4 minutes to go now before the timer clicked to 0 and the dynamite went off. I just had to get to it with a vacuum. I hit something solid, but holding on to it was another matter. Again and again, I lost it, and the seconds were ticking away. And finally, it held. Ever so slowly, I drew it toward me. I had it now, and I switched it off. Then I signaled Joey to hang on. And raced again for the surface. The heavy equipment had arrived now. I had a line to tie around the rocks, and I'd already brought a fresh air tank for Joey. I signaled topside. We waited, Joey and I both. The line had tautened, and the boat was racing its props against it. But the rocks were wedged so firmly that they wouldn't budge. Then suddenly, it was over. I could reach the trapped youngster at last.
This is what I'm saying to you. This is important. A person should be thoroughly checked out before he goes into the ocean. Otherwise, it's like playing with dynamite. And you both ought to know what that feels like. Skin diving is a great sport, but it's a very dangerous one. All kinds of things can happen to you while you're down there, all of a sudden. And you gotta act in a split second. That calls for a lot of experience. And a few more years under your belts. You understand what I'm saying, huh? Am I coming through to you? Huh, Joey?
Yes, sir.
What about you, Kelly?
Yes, sir.
And don't you ever go skin diving again without an adult. Huh? You realize how serious this is? You? Okay, now. Class dismissed, huh?
I understand, too. And it won't happen again. I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Nelson. You saved my little boy. Thank you. If you ever wait till your father hears about this.
That poor woman, Mike. You'll never know what you went through. It must make you feel good to know what you've done.
Well, at least I feel better than those two kids do, right? Well, that was nice. What was that for?
That's your reward.
Hey, you know I'm hungry.
How about cashing in that rain check?
What are we waiting for? Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.